Okay, now let us see how do we know that some things are alive. Okay, we are saying that there are so many things around us which are alive. How can we know that an object is alive or not? Okay, so they are having certain characteristic features. Living organisms, they have certain characteristic features which make them alive. Okay, so let us see that points one by one. Living things, the most important feature of living thing, they used to do respiration. They used to respire. Okay, they are breathing in air and leaving out air. That is called as respiration. And this process is very common in all the living organism. Another important point is they used to grow. Only living things shows the growth. For example, if you see your LKG chairs. Now you studied in LKG, UKG, now you reached up to 6th standard. And if you just observe, that seats which you were sat earlier in your LKG, that seats are available even now also in our school. Without any change, it is lying there. Okay. What about you? That time you were able to sit on that smaller fiber chairs. But now when you sit, its legs will break because you are growing. You are attaining body weight. Your height is increasing. Because of you are a living organism, all these changes are happening in your body. You are respiring and you are growing and you are breathing. You are moving from one place to another place. You are reproducing your next generation. All these processes are available only in a living organism. For example, when you see a puppy, okay, when it is born, that time it will be a small and cute puppy. But after a few months, when you see that, it's automatically its size will increase, weight will increase, height will increase. All this you can observe. Okay, like that chickens. Okay, small chicks are formed from egg only. Small chicks are hatched from egg. And when it come out of the egg, a very small and cute chicks will be there, making some chirping sound, moving here and there. You can observe it. And those chicks, when you see, after a few months, after a few days, they will gradually grow in size. After a few months, they will be ready to lay eggs. Then they will produce the next generation. Like that now you are in 6th standard, but after 10 years, your size will increase. You will grow. You may not be knowing it, you may not be experiencing, but the people surrounding you, they can see your growth. Okay, they can experience your growth. And you can also understand the changes which happens in your body. From that you can understand, maybe when you are in 6th standard now, you may be having 31 kilo. That Joel Joseph and only 28 kg maybe. Okay. So like that, there are so many children are there, very small children, and their weight is very less than 20 to 80 like that. Whereas some children, those who are having more weight also in your class as classmates. After 10 years, if you compare your body size, weight and all, you can find there will be a lot of changes. Your body weight is increasing. Again, you can see plants also. Whenever you are growing plants, suppose if you are sowing the seeds of some paddy or if you are sowing the seeds of pea plants, we have done that experiment in our class because you already brought some growing plants, seed germination. When we studied about seed germination, you experienced that how the plants are growing. We are keeping the seeds in the soil and we are providing water and we may provide some sunlight. When we place it outside, gradually it keeps growing. First one leaf, second and again 2 leaves. Like that, number of leaves are increasing, length of the stem is increasing, size of the leaf is increasing, then they will start flowering, then they will start producing fruits. All these are the signs of growth only. Okay, so living things, they are growing and they are respiring, they are breathing, they are reproducing, they are moving from one place to another place. All this we can see. Then tell me, these clouds are there in the sky. These clouds also you can find. Sometimes a small cloud, small group of cloud you can observe. And these clouds, after some time you can find it will be growing in size, enlarging in size you can observe. It is a non-living factor, but even then it looks like it is growing. How you experience? If it is not, after watching this class, you just observe the sky. You can see first a small part of cloud, again it keeps growing, you can observe. And one more thing you can see, they keep moving from one place to another place, from north direction to south direction or south to east, west, in all direction. Always you can see the clouds are disturbed. They will not sit. They are like 6th standard students only. Even in the class, you are always restless. You are moving here and there. In that manner, these clouds, they are moving from one place to another place. They keeps growing also. They keeps growing, enlarging in size. At the same time, they keeps moving from one place to another place. Then can we say that clouds are a living one? No, clouds are non-living, but even then they are moving from one place to another place. Again, some other non-living factors or non-living thing only we can observe: car, vehicles, motor vehicle, bike, bicycle, all these are there. They are also moving from one place to another place. Then can we say they are living thing? No, they are moving, but they are not living thing. Okay, so these are some of the important points related to growth. Now the remaining one by one we will see there are all the different features. First one is about the growth. The plants are living things are growing, okay, from childhood to adulthood, then to old age. In old age there is no growth, okay. From childhood to up to your teenage, 19, 20, 21 years old, you will grow. Afterwards your growth will be stunned, or it will be suppressed. No growth after that. Plants also, if you keep a seed, first they will germinate, next day 1 or 2 leaves, then 4 leaves, 5 leaves, finally it will become a big tree. Then its growth is finished. But plants, they keep growing throughout their lifetime, they keep growing. But human beings or other animals, up to certain age they will grow, afterwards there is no growth. Okay, now let us discuss about the other most important points of a living organism or characteristic features of living organism, that is respiration. Do all the organisms respire? Do plants are also able to respire? So related to this we will discuss now. Okay, all the living organism, whether it is a smaller one or larger one or a longer one, depending on the irrespective of their size, they are doing the process of respiration. If they stop respiration, they will die. Okay, so all the living organisms, they are doing respiration. So now let us see what is meant by respiration and breathing. You are always listening these two terms, breathing and respiration. Are these two terms are same or similar? Breathing and respiration? No. Breathing means that is just taking air from our surrounding. Okay, as we are land animals or human beings, we are also animals only. Okay, we are staying on land, so we are depending on the gaseous air present in the surrounding, and we are taking air inside through our nostrils, and it will reaches our lungs. There the exchange of gases takes place in our lungs. So we can say the taking in of air through the nostrils towards our lungs, that is known as inspiration. So respiration consists of 2 steps are there. One is inhalation, another one is exhalation. In yoga time also you are listening this: inhale, exhale. Your sir used to say, no, that is inhale and exhale. Inhalation means taking in air and breathing out, leaving out air. That is known as breathing. That means exchange of gases between the respiratory organ and the surrounding, that is breathing. Then whereas respiration means glucose inside the cell. After when we breathe air, it contains, actually we are absorbing oxygen from the air. Inhaled air, we are absorbing oxygen from our lungs. When the air reaches our lungs, it contains more amount of oxygen. That oxygen will be diffused into the blood vessels, blood capillaries of our lungs, and this blood carry the absorbed oxygen to each and every cells in our body. Okay, at the same time, some of the blood vessels are carrying carbon dioxide, which is evolved from the cell, and they will take it back to the lungs. When we exhale, this carbon dioxide rich air will go out. So that is the process of breathing. In respiration time, what is happening? Whatever the absorbed oxygen is there in our lungs, that will be dissolved in our blood, and that blood will be reaching each and every cell. Then by the use of this oxygen, the glucose present in the blood will undergoes decomposition or splitting, and energy will be released. That process is happening inside our cell. That is known as respiration, we will say. Okay, respiration. Breathing means taking air inside and leaving out, that is breathing. And respiration means By using the absorbed oxygen, glucose present in our blood undergoes splitting and energy releasing will take place. That is known as respiration. And it is happens inside our body, inside each and every cell it is happening. So we can also call it as cellular respiration, we can say. Okay, cellular respiration or tissue respiration or internal respiration. All these things are same only. And the breathing of air, exchanging of air between lungs and surrounding, that is external breathing, we can say, external respiration. Inside what is happening, that is internal respiration. It is also known as tissue respiration or cellular respiration. Okay, so all the organisms are breathing. And what about the case of plants? Are they breathing? Plants are also breathing. What is the respiratory organ present in our body? That is lungs. What is the respiratory organ present in earthworm, you know? Last chapter we studied about earthworm's movement. And now earthworm is also breathing, but they are breathing through their skin. Okay, earthworms breathe through their skin. Exchange of gases takes place through their skin. And in cockroach, they have special system is there that is called trachea. So cockroaches breathe through their trachea. Trachea means fine tubular system extended all over the body of cockroach. So cockroaches are respiring through their trachea, whereas earthworm breathe through their skin, and we human beings are breathing through our lungs. Then what about the frog? Just before I said, frogs breathe through gills when they are in larval form, and they breathe through their lungs when they are on the land, and they breathe through their skin when they are in water. So frog can breathe through three different mechanisms, whereas fish, they will breathe through their gills. And human beings, we have only one mechanism, whether we are smaller one or larger one, we are using our lungs for breathing. Okay. So the respiratory organ is different from one organism to another organism according to the habitat. And plants, what about case of plants? Plants are also doing exchange of gases, and they have minute pores on their leaves, that is called stomata. Through stomata, they are doing exchange of gases. Which gas they are absorbing during the time of respiration? That is oxygen. Which gas they are releasing outside during respiration? That is carbon dioxide. Which gas they are absorbing during photosynthesis? That is carbon dioxide. And during photosynthesis, which gas they release out? That is oxygen. Okay. So in one process, oxygen is releasing out, whereas in the other process, carbon dioxide is releasing out. But even if they are releasing out oxygen or carbon dioxide, for other purpose, they are absorbing it again back. Okay, photosynthesis, they are using carbon dioxide. That time, as a byproduct, oxygen is formed, and this oxygen will be released outside. During the time of respiration, they are using oxygen for respiration. As a result of respiration, a byproduct is formed as carbon dioxide that will be released outside. Carbon dioxide is used by all the plants for doing photosynthesis, whereas for all the plants, oxygen is used for respiration, including human beings. Okay. So another most important feature of living organism, that is showing response to stimuli. So here you have to study these both the terms, response and stimuli. So what is stimuli? Stimuli means any changes happens in our surrounding, that is known as stimuli. Okay, for example, when I am taking class, someone made some sound in front of me. Maybe that side, my right side, someone is making some sound. Then automatically what I will do? I may just turn towards that side and see. Okay, so I show some response now. When I listen a sound, immediately I turn my head towards that side and I looked at that side. Okay, so that is the response. Sound, here the sound change happens in my surrounding, that is the sound. Against that sound, by listening the sound, some changes happens in my body or some reaction happen in our body. and that reaction which are shown by us, that is known as response. When you are listening a sound, immediately we are listening to that direction. We are turning to that direction and observing what is happening. And in front of you someone is eating tamarind. Okay, you are observing one person is eating tamarind in front of you. He is eating. While eating, you know what are the facial expressions. Okay, a lot of saliva comes out from that person's mouth. At the same time, the person who is looking at the other person also, from the mouth water comes out. Or even when we are listening to your favorite dish, maybe chicken fry or mutton fry or like that fish fry, something, just when you listen the sound of that food item itself, your mouth starts salivating. Okay, saliva comes in our mouth cavity. Or by seeing, when you see the food item, more saliva will come. Okay, so that salivation is an example for a response to stimuli. And here that your favorite dish in front of you, that is a change, that is a stimuli. When you see that food only, from your mouth water comes out. So that is a response from your side. So we experienced that last year when we were in 5th standard, near about 12 o'clock from the hostel side, they are making some fish fry or chicken fry. While they are making, some sweet smell keeps spreading all over the campus. You experience that. Am I correct or not? So by listening to that smell itself, some of them will they will lose the attention of studying, and they try to concentrate towards that smell, because you are also ready to have your lunch near about the time of 12:30. Okay, so that is just by listening the term, or just by listening the name of your favorite dish, your mouth starts salivation. That is an example for response to stimuli. Suppose while we are walking very coolly in our surrounding, that time suddenly, okay, you are walking, we are not at all thinking anything, but you are in a calm manner, you are moving. Suddenly, one cobra is raising its hood on you. What will happen? Automatically, we will go back. Okay, we will just go back from that, because that hissing sound of the cobra who is coming to you, that is an example for a stimuli. Immediately you became frightened and you may go back. So that is a response shown by you. Otherwise, what will happen? It may even bit you. Okay, so for that, in order to escape from its snake bite, from that particular snake bite, we are just going back. So that's an example for response. Like that, there are so many responses. During night time, when you are sitting, when you are reading, while reading, enough light is there and you are continuing reading, suddenly power gone. Then what will happen? You may get some irritation in your eyes. Okay, and you are, after some time, slowly you will be able to see somewhat vaguely in your surrounding, you are able to see. Then after half an hour you are sitting in the dark room, then suddenly power came back. So in that bright light, what will happen? Immediately your eye will face some problem. So that is a response shown by your body. Okay, and that light came to you, or the power came back, that is the stimulus. When you hit on a hot object, immediately you will take your hand back. That hotness is the stimuli. Withdrawing our hand back, that is response. Like that, there are so many examples are there you are experiencing in your day-to-day life. So I don't want to explain much more. Now with these examples, you might have understood the content, response to stimuli. And we are talking about, now we have talked about human beings or animals. Human being, we talked about human beings. What about animals? You might have observed that whenever you come out from outside, okay, when you come back to your home from outside after a long time, what will happen? You can observe, if you have a pet dog in your home, you can observe they keep running towards you, and they try to jump and they try to climb on your body, and they will make some special sounds and all. Okay, that they are expressing their love. That means here the stimuli is you. By seeing by your presence, the dog is showing some love and affection towards you. So that is an example for a stimuli. And your cat, sometimes they will come to you and they will hit their body on your body. Okay, cat's body will rub on your body. So that is also, they are expressing their love towards you. So when they see you, immediately they start coming to you. They are rubbing its body on your body. Okay, these all are examples for stimulus and a response. What about case of plants? Plants, if you keep a potted plant near a window, After a few days you can find its upper part, the stem keeps bending towards outside through the window. That means the sunlight, they need sunlight. In the dark room they don't want to stay. Are you interested to stay inside a dark room for a long time? No. Just like that in plants also. But plants, it is very important. Sunlight is very important because they are doing photosynthesis with the help of sunlight. And if you allow that plant to stay inside the dark room, they will not be able to stay there. Automatically, if there is any source of light, any small hole is there also, you can find the stem of the plant will bend towards that source of light and it keeps coming outside. That means here the sunlight is the stimulus, and that bending of the plant towards the sunlight, that is the response. Okay, so in plants are also showing stimulus and response, animals are also showing stimulus and response, we human beings are also showing similar stimuli response towards a particular stimuli. So these all are the important characteristic feature of living things. Okay, then now let us move to the next topic. Okay, do some other animals are also showing the same type of stimulus, or they are showing the response against stimulus? You might have seen that in your surrounding during night time, this wild pig come to our surrounding. Okay, especially if your house is nearby some forest area and all, these wild pigs used to come outside during night time. And in that particular place, if you keep rotating light, okay, light which is rotating, colorful light, that light flash, allow this light to rotate. So that flashing of light makes that wild animal to go away from your agricultural land. So that is also a technique which is used. Okay, so that flashing light is the stimulus, and running away from that light, that is the response by that animal. And during night time, you can see in your house cockroaches are there. Especially during night time around 1 o'clock, you got up and you want to go outside. Okay, so by that time, up to that time, the light was off. So during this time, you can find all these cockroaches along with the family. They are coming outside. In our kitchen especially, they will move with a small variety of cockroach, and their larger one, male, female, with the family, full number of cockroaches together. They are moving in search of food, water, etc. in our kitchen. You can observe. And suddenly when you switch on the light, night time they are moving. Okay, when you switch on the light during midnight, you can observe they will all hide in their places. Okay, where they were hidden earlier, to that particular place they will all move. So here the light is the stimulus, and the cockroaches are running away from the light. That is the response shown by cockroach. Then touch me not plant, you know, in your textbook also it is given there. There is a plant called touch me not plant, and this touch me not plant scientific name is Mimosa pudica. Okay, its scientific name, full name is Mimosa pudica. In your textbook it is given only Mimosa is given there. Don't worry. Mimosa plant is also known as touch me not plant, and this plant, when you touch its leaves, you can observe it will automatically fold its leaf. So that's an example for another example for response to a stimuli. Okay. Next characteristic feature of living organism is excretion. Okay. Are we doing excretion? What is excretion? It's a removal of waste material from our body. We are eating different types of food items. Okay, we are eating breakfast, then afternoon lunch, then supper, and in between maybe some other snacks, fruits, etc. we are eating. At the same time, we are drinking water also. Are we using all the amount of food we ate? No. Are we using all the amount of water we drink? No. Some amount will be used for our body activity or energy production, and the remaining undigested food particles, etc. will be released out of the body as waste material. And this process of removing the waste material from our body is known as excretion. What is that? Excretion. The unwanted materials, substances which is present in our body, it should be sent out of our body, and that process is known as excretion. And you know what is the major excretory organ present in human body? That is our kidney. Kidney is excreting all the waste materials present in our blood. Okay, and lungs are also excreting excess amount of carbon dioxide from our lungs. It goes out. Okay. The other excretory product, undigested food particle from our digestive system, is the fecal matter that also released from our digestive system. So like that, whenever if we play outside in sunlight, you can observe your body starts sweating. That sweat is also a waste material from our body. So in our body, in different ways, through by means of our excretory system, through our skin, through our nostrils, etc., we are releasing the waste materials outside. What will happen if these waste materials remain in our body? That may cause some other health problems in our body. That's why the waste material should be separated, and that process of getting rid of waste material from our body is known as excretion. And all the animals which are in our surrounding, you can find they are also doing the same process of excretion. Okay, they are also urinating, they are defecating. At the same time, from the skin, excess water will come outside as sweat. When we breathe out, excess carbon dioxide present in our body will come outside as a waste. All these waste materials we are releasing in this manner. Then what about the case of plants? Plants are storing some amount of waste materials. They will store inside the cell. Within the cell, there are special cavities are there known as vacuoles. This regarding all this you will study in your higher classes. Vacuoles are present in the cell. Is unwanted materials, etc., some amount will be stored inside their vacuoles. And some of them will be sent to the alder leaves. Some of the waste materials will be sent to the alder leaves. Whenever that alder leaves fall down, those waste materials are also will go out along with the dead leaves. And some amount of the waste materials will be sent outside. For example, during the time of respiration, carbon dioxide is formed as a waste in case of plants. And this carbon dioxide will be releasing outside through the stomata from the leaves. And if excess water is available in plants, how they will remove it? They will remove it through their stomata, and that process is known as transpiration. Okay, removal of excess water by plants, that is known as transpiration. And when we remove excess water through our skin pores, that is called sweating, we will say. Okay, plants are also undergoing the process of sweating, that is known as called as transpiration. Then some amount of waste materials will be transported to the roots, and from the roots it goes out into the surrounding soil. Okay, plants remove the waste materials through the alder leaves. Some of the waste material will be stored in the vacuoles, and some amount of waste materials will be sent to the root system. From the root, it will go out into the surrounding soil. In this way, plants are also doing excretion, because plants are also living things. They need to excrete their waste products outside. Otherwise, it will affect the growth of the plants. Okay. So, what is excretion? The process of getting rid of the waste material from the body of a plant or animal or human being, that is known as excretion. Is it clear? Okay. So, now let us move to the next topic. Okay. Now, let us see the another important characteristics of living organism, that is reproduction. What is that? Reproduction. What is meant by reproduction? Producing again, that is known as reproduction. Okay, so you can observe that if a dog is there in your home, if a female dog is there, after a few months, you are growing them for some months, then after some particular time period, they used to give birth to puppies. You are experiencing it. Okay, and if you have a hen in your home, it lays egg, and that egg will be hatched to the next generation, and newly formed chicks will be there. And so most of the houses now we are growing that small birds, finches, sparrows, etc. Okay, we are growing lovebirds and all. And these lovebirds also, for some time they will live together. A male and female, if they are living together. After a few days, the female bird starts laying egg. Then after some particular days time period, from that egg, small lovebirds will come outside. You can observe that. So, these all are example for reproduction. Okay, already the adult organisms, they are producing the next generation, and that some of the organisms are laying eggs and producing the next generation, whereas some other animals, they are giving birth to the next generation. For example, human beings, mammals, all. Frog is an example for an amphibian. They are laying eggs. From the egg, next generation come out. Whereas human beings, cow, goat, sheep and all, we all are mammals. We are giving birth to the next generation. Okay. And providing them with the milk, mother's milk, and they will grow. And then they will grow into a small baby. Again they will crawl, they will creep. Again they start walking. And at the age of 3 they will be joined in LKG. Then UKG, first, second, 10th, then 11th, 12th. Okay, at the age of 20 or 25, they will get married. Then after marriage, they will produce their next generation, another LKG child. Okay, so these processes keep repeating. Okay, and that process of producing the next generation, that is known as reproduction. Okay, producing its own kind. When an individual becomes mature, they starts producing their own kind. That process is known as reproduction. Producing again, that is known as reproduction. All the living things, they are able to reproduce either by laying eggs, otherwise by giving birth to the young ones, they are able to produce the next generation. Okay. So that's all about reproduction, and detailed information regarding reproduction and all you will study in your higher classes. Now, next, let us study about the next topic, that is movement. Movement is another important characteristic feature of all the living organism. So now I am, by standing here itself in the same place, I am moving my hands here and there. Okay, my hands only I am moving, my body is staying in one place. At the same time, I can move from one place to another place also. Okay, I am able to move from one place to another place. That means shifting our body from the particular place to other area. That we will call it as locomotion, you will say. Okay, staying in the same place and moving our body parts, that is movement, we can say. At the same time, shifting our body from one place to another place, and that is known as locomotion. So animals are moving, doing locomotion. You studied last class, you studied earthworms are moving, cockroaches how they are moving, and snails, their movement you studied. So like that, different animals are moving from one place to another place. So why for these animals should move from one place to another place? There should be some purpose. They are moving for their food. I told you about cockroaches. Why all the cockroaches are coming to our kitchen during night time? They are coming in search of their food. When we have our food, some waste particles may be there. They want to have it. That's why they are having. They are coming outside. And during summer season, you can observe earthworms keep coming outside of their burrows. During night time, you can find more number of snails are moving here and there. And rats come outside during night time. All these are coming for certain purposes. Sometimes they are coming for their food, sometimes they are coming outside for their water purpose, or in order to mate with the other animal, they are coming outside. So like the different purposes, they are moving from one place to another place. Last year you studied about Arctic tern. There is a bird, and Siberian crane. These all are migratory birds. They are moving from one country to another country. Canada to India, they are moving. Again, India to Canada, they will move. Okay, so that means for whenever the climate is not good there, they will come here. When the climate become good, again they will go back to that area. So like that, the birds are moving in order to overcome the unfavorable condition. They are moving from one place to another place, or they will move for their food, or they will move for their life partner, or for laying eggs, they will move. Okay, so like that, for different purposes, these animals are moving. Okay, so now we have almost all the characteristic features of living organism we have discussed so far. Now, there is a small activity for you. In that activity, what you need to do means, you just observe actually. Suppose green gram seeds are there in your home, or if you are, you might have observed that green gram seeds are kept in packets in supermarket and all, or supplyco market and all. You can observe green gram, not only green gram, there are so many varieties of grams, pulses, etc. are available there. Okay. Are they showing any symptoms of characteristics or symptoms or characteristic features of living organism? Actually, these seeds which are stored in the supermarket and all, that's a part of a living thing only. Okay, but are they showing any sign of characteristic features of living organisms there? No. But when we are keeping such seeds in soil and provide some water, from second or third day you can find a small growth, a small plantlet come outside, sapling come outside, and they will start growing into an adult plant you can see. Okay, so that's an example for some materials like seeds. They are, if they are preserved in a dry condition, they will not show much characteristic features of living things. But even then, if it is a living thing, they are showing one basic characteristic feature, that is respiration, that they are doing also. Even if we are keeping the seeds inside a container, they keep doing respiration. How can we know that whether the seeds, the dry seeds which are placed inside a bag or inside a container is doing breathing? When you keep your hand, suppose you take a bag full of, a gunny bag or any bag full of wheat or paddy seeds you take, which is tied tightly and is kept somewhere, and you keep your hand inside, fully inside the wheat bag, you may feel some difference in the temperature. Okay, you may experience some temperature. That temperature is generated from the seed only. Actually, the seed is a living one. The basic characteristic feature of all the living things, that is respiration. Whenever we will respire, some amount of heat energy will be released outside. So these seeds, dried seeds, they are also doing respiration, but the growth they are not showing during that time, but they are doing respiration. As a result of respiration, heat energy is released. That heat energy made our hand warm when we are keeping our hand inside a bag full of wheat. And if we keep the seeds in the soil, they will start growing, germinating, and showing other characteristic features of living things. Otherwise also, respiration, basic feature that is done by these seeds, dry seeds also, that is respiration process they are doing. Okay. Okay, children, now we have come to an end of our chapter, that is living organisms, characteristic features of living organisms. In this chapter, we have discussed about what are the important characteristic features of animals, plants, what all those characters. They are able to grow, they are able to reproduce, they are able to respire, they are able to move from one place to another place, and they can do excretion, and so on. These are the characteristic features of living organism. Again, we have studied about what is habitat, what are the types of habitats, and what is meant by adaptation, how aquatic animals are adapted to the surrounding, how terrestrial organisms are adapted to the particular surrounding. Regarding all this, we have discussed, and you have to read the textbook thoroughly, minimum 3 times. Okay. Next time, before coming for interacting session, you have to read this lesson thoroughly. I may ask you questions from each and every lines. Okay. So be ready with that. Don't come with the advanced chapters doubts. Okay. What all completed, you read the lesson. From that, you can ask the doubt. Then, now let us discuss about the important words, keywords of this chapter. And in another homework for you, in your class, in your textbook, there are so many activities are given there. You have to read these activities and you have to write its observation. Next interacting session, I will ask you, okay, what are the important activities, and the explanation regarding that activity I will ask you. And moreover, you have examination, that also you have to concentrate a very well exam portion. Question banks will be provided, that questions you have to read, study. Apart from that, the given portion also you have to read thoroughly. Now let us discuss about the important words, okay, keywords. The first word is adaptation. The spelling is ADAPTATION. Okay, adaptation. Adaptation means, you know that what is adaptation. Then aquatic spelling AQUATIC, aquatic habitat, HABITAT, aquatic habitat. Then biotic component, bio means life, biotic means components which are having life, that is known as biotic component. Then growth, spelling of growth is GROWTH, growth. The next one is reproduction. Next word is reproduction. Spelling is REPRODUCTION, reproduction. Reproduction means producing the next generation. Then respiration. Respiration means RESPIRA. Respiration means you know that exchange of gases. Spelling is RESPIRATION. Respiration. Respiration consists of two steps already I have told you, breathing and internal respiration also. Okay. The next word is stimulus. 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 Stimulus means any external force that is acting on our body. It may be a sound, it may be a smell, it may be a touch, pressure, pain, something. Okay. Any external changes that we can call it as stimuli. Against that we are showing some reaction that is known as response. RESPONSE. Okay. Read the lesson thoroughly and prepare the lesson well before coming for interactive session. Till then, take care. Okay.